Deputy Owen Murphy, 5.
Thank you, Ken Corla, and thank you, Minister, for bringing this bill into the Chamber. I think it's important whenever we talk about rates, commercial rates, and local property taxes and Dublin City Council, that we go and we speak hand in hand and talk about where that money is going and how it's being spent. People pay a lot of money in rates in Dublin City for the businesses that they have, and they often wonder where that money actually goes. And one of the initiatives I've been trying to pursue for the last number of years in here is tax transparency at the national level. And we already have a calculator up and running, so that an individual can go and see how their income taxes are spent by the government in simple euros and cents. And I think it's something that we need to compel local authorities to do as well, because if the individual business can get an actual breakdown online quite quickly and very cheaply of where their actual rates are going and how it's being spent by the local authority, there might be more buy-in by businesses then into what the council is trying to do, but also into the need to pay rates, because a lot of businesses will wonder, given that the different charges that they do face, from waste collection to different water charges and things like that, and the different permits that they need to pay for, they wonder then where on top of that their rates goes. I mean, of course, it's an important source of funding for local authorities. Let's tell them how it's being spent, and I think that's important to have that buy-in for this important charge that we have. I also think that, when you look at what's happening at the moment with retail, in the country, a lot of very positive trends. Expected growth in consumer spending of 2.7%. We hear that from Retail Ireland. Retail sales in the last quarter, the fourth quarter of 2014, were the best since 2007, and Dublin now has been voted one of the fifth best shopping city in the world by Condé Nast. I mean, that's all very positive, and if we have managed to stabilise the economy, and I think we have, perhaps now is the time, and picking up what Deputy Kine was saying, is to look at the possibility of actually, how we rate businesses in this country. Is there a way that we can do it that's better than what we've been doing for so long? Because this idea of a fixed charge that is static, regardless of how the economy is performing or regardless of the performance of the business, is that really the best kind of pro-enterprise way we can think about making sure that businesses make a fair contribution to the running of the areas in which they're based? Is there something more dynamic that can be done? Again, as Deputy Kine said, can we find a flexibility there so that certain businesses that may need, either in a particular time or for a particular reason, need a rate reduction, could benefit from a rate reduction while not giving an unnecessary or unneeded benefit to bigger companies or bigger businesses working either in that geographical area or in that industry. So this could be the opportunity. And again, we know from what we've done with this new evaluation or this new valuation process for rates, how long it takes to design and to implement and the unforeseen delays that might be encountered. So if you're talking about a big change, maybe even in 10 years' time, now's the time to start talking about it and planning for it. I mean, we did have the new process come in Dublin, and it was a difficult process. It wasn't necessarily easy. I attended a number of meetings with local businesses, business associations as well, who were worried, who weren't getting the information clearly, were afraid that their bills were about to jump up. And we're still managing through that process, and there's still a lack of certainty for some businesses. So I think it could have been done better, but we need to learn from those things as well as it moves around the country. Some of the exemptions in the bill I think are very welcome, and a lot of people are talking, of course, about community sports clubs, and if they have a bar and that exemption then for the area where the bar isn't being exempted from rates, I think that's important, because it is important for the club in terms of being able to put the money that it does take into the actual sporting ground itself, or the players, or the kit, or the equipment, and not have to be funneling it, I think, unfairly. And I think it's recognised, Minister, by you and the government that it was unfair to do that, to funnel it back into the council. So that exemption is welcome. When we look at nursing homes and the exemption for non-profit nursing homes, of course that's welcome. There isn't an exemption for profit for nursing homes that make a profit or are funded through Fair Deal, and I wonder if that's something that we should look at again, because again we have to do what we can to make healthcare costs as affordable as possible, and we don't want to be making it more difficult for people to afford those kind of healthcare needs that they will have later on in life. And when we look at childcare facilities, perhaps it's a similar thing. Not-for-profit childcare facilities are exempt. That's welcome. But for-profit childcare facilities are not. And when it is so expensive, for childcare in the country at the moment, maybe this is a way in which we can find some relief for those businesses, and that relief for them passed on to the parents sending their kids into childcare. Also, I think it's interesting in relation to outdoor areas and childcare facilities that they are being charged for outdoor areas. That 25% of children under 3 are overweight in this country. And we don't want to be disincentivizing a new childcare facility or existing childcare facilities from using their outdoor areas because they're worried that it's going to cost them more money. We want the opposite. We want as much play and activity out of doors as possible because that's what's best for the children. So, perhaps that's something that can be looked at a later stage, but I do welcome the bill. I think it's an important piece of legislation. Thank you.